wouldn't have to go anywhere because this is the Talk Beat Jones. Family. This is the Talk Beat Jones once again, and I am your guy. I'm that guy, Billy E. Jones, and of course, we're here every Wednesday. That's right, we're live every Wednesday from 10 until 11. And so also you can watch us on a Sunday from 4 to 5 p.m. on 15.2. I'm trying to move it on down the line. 15.2. And of course, you can tell your friends and family and all the folks that you know of and folks that you want to know of to go to the R.J. Watkins page. That's right, go to the R.J. Watkins page and they can pull the show up. It'll come on right now. We're live on the R.J. Watkins page as well as the other live streaming platforms. You can also be able to see the program on on Roku. That's right, we're on Roku. And you can go to YouTube, TV33 on demand, and you'll be able to watch the program, okay? So I'm excited today. I have on the line a young man I'm going to bring on, going to kind of tease you a little bit because we want to really spend the time with him on the second half of the show. But I may bring him in a little early so he can give us a little something about what we're going to talk about, what we're going to be into when we bring him on the air. Family, I also want to talk to you about getting ready. That's right, talking about getting ready. There's a couple of things. My time here says that we have been commissioned to bring in the African art. That's right, you've been waiting for it. The African art, sculptures, prints, paintings, etc., and other things that you can get from the African art collection that we have been commissioned to bring on the air and set up a system in which you can find that you want and be able to pick it up. And that commission was that I would help the station by making sure that the funds partly go to the station. So it's our way for us to do our love tap to the station. It's an opportunity for you to get what you want at a tremendous price. And you say, Billy, what do you mean when you say a tremendous price? Well, listen, we're going to put them up there, and we're going to let you know how we're going to do the pricing once we start to show you the actual week by week presentation of that you can purchase. That's right. We are commissioned because they watched the station and how it conducted the last particular sales of the person's art, African art collections. And so now the person that really put that together is no longer with us on the earth. He is rest in peace. And so we're going to now do this through Billy Jones and what type of style and methods that I will come up with to help you make that decision and give you a chance to see all of these various different art pieces. So for those persons who've been waiting to, take care of that wall, take care of that entryway, take care of that setting space, that comfortable space, that mindset that you want to get into and look into your history, we're going to have those pieces here for you on the Talk Beat Jones. So you just get ready because we're going to kind of switch gears. Switch gears a little bit. We're going to do the interviews and we're going to do the African art collection that we're commissioned to bring to you. That's right. So you stay with us and we're going to start bringing to you on the air so you can see what we're talking about. It's not where I'm just talking and trying to paint a picture. We'll be able to see exactly what it is that we are talking about. Let's see. Uh, Now, we're going to kind of just tease with my guests. We're going to kind of just tease with them today at this point uh, to kind of give you an overview of some of the things that we're going to talk about, some of the people. I have no idea actually. Uh, this is this young man's time to be the special guest host. So he will direct us to how his platform will operate. And so let me bring on my friend, my bestest of friends, Mr. Mark Hollis. Mark, are you there?
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Mark. What I want to do is I want to kind of come on and let the people get an idea. I don't want to let them know. We're not going to get into it all the way during the first half, okay? But kind of give them a
Uh,
little tease about some of the things that we're going to be talking about during the second half of the show.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Um, as you know, I come from a pretty broad background in athletics,
Yes.
and I happened to make a statement on Facebook regarding Coco Golf,
Yes.
and so the issue is, you know, methodology versus being able to have that type of confidence to go on and excel.
Now you're talking
And
about
so,
wait.
go ahead, Bill.
You're talking about the tennis player Coco, the
Correct.
young black girl, right? Young black lady,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
And
Yes.
so we're going to talk about some things that you observed in watching her play or something of that nature.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I have my own perspective on things,
And
and
mhm.
you and I know each other from our days teammates playing football, but I also played tennis as well, and I coached.
Well, that's
So
why
I
we
have
want to
a
hear your
totally different perspective.
well, that's why I want to hear your perspective because you're well known, and so we're pleased and blessed that we have the type of relationship that we can bring you on, give you the platform to express your professional style of looking at what a person who is in the athletic world, how you think, how we should be able to observe and get an idea of what's going on through that person's mind or their influences, etc. So we'll get into that. Anything else that we may talk about, Mark?
You and I have history. There's some things we can talk about on there. Some things we can talk about on there. So we connect on so many different levels. So we'll see where it goes.
And there are some awards that your organization, we should talk about your organization, some awards your organization has passed out, and some awards that you personally have received. And maybe we can talk about some of the people that we're close with you've close and kept in great contact with,
Right.
some of the things that they're going
Right.
on.
I sit on the board of directors for the Hall of Fame at San Francisco State University,
Hmm.
predominantly the football program. And we've had a lot of guys that have come through there. We're still active. So
Yes.
guys like Andy Reid and Mike Holmgren, we've got quite a few guys.
Wait, did you say Andy Reid and Mike Hogan?
Yeah, they came out of San Francisco State. Mike and Andy. We just acknowledged Tom Melvin, who's Travis Kelsey's tight end coach at Tampa with the Chiefs, and quite a few guys.
Let's talk about
Bunch
that
of
just for a
guys.
moment. So you're talking about Andy Reid, the head coach of the Kansas City Chiefs, right?
Right.
And
Yep.
so you're saying that Andy Reid, the world-renowned Super Bowl champion himself, comes out of San Francisco State?
No, absolutely. Yeah, he coached there. Andy was an assistant coach under Vic Rowan, who was our head coach.
Oh,
Andy's claim to fame is that not only was he the effective guy on the sideline, but during the halftime, because as you know, revenue sometimes at some universities are kind of penny.
mhm.
Andy would go sell hot dogs at halftime in the stand.
Wait,
So,
So wait, so you say that was his thing, and as he was an assistant coach, that he would also go sell hot dogs at
Just
halftime.
hot dogs. He walked the bleachers selling hot dogs. Yeah, trying to raise some cash. You know.
Now, see, this is something that the world has never heard of. That Andy
yeah.
Reid at San Francisco State, when he was an assistant football coach, because it's a low end, wouldn't bring a lot of money in, would go at halftime and sell hot dogs. For what reason was that, Mark?
Absolutely. Andy is still active in the program. We inducted Andy in the Hall of Fame probably about 17 years ago, I'm thinking. And so he's still active. We still have Zoom meetings, all that stuff with Andy involved. He and Tom Nelson. We got, just like I said, a bunch of guys.
I mean, I just think that and maybe on the second half you can come back with some more little nuggets about Andy Reid, the head coach of the Kansas City Chiefs, the Super Bowl champions, and maybe you may want to go into his time in Philadelphia as well.
Right.
Tell me.
Yeah, I was inducted in the Hall of Fame 2 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and it's an honor to be involved with the guys.
Yes. So tell me this. We can step ahead on this one before the second half because that's the interest of mine. Is what was it like? What was the feeling like to be recognized for the time, the effort, the work, the sacrifices that you put into going for the sports that you loved, and to have folk at this particular time recognize you and place you where your name will never ever be forgotten and will always be with the greats of San Francisco State. It's like people talk about Michael Jordan is the GOAT. They talk about Tom Brady is the GOAT, and they'll hold up their six rings, right? However, did they ever look at the hand on the guy from McClymonds High School, San Francisco State? His name is, rest in peace, Bill Russell.
Mm-hmm.
And did anybody ask Bill Russell to hold his hands up and show you how many championship rings, did he hold up?
Bill had more rings than fingers.
I was going to tell you, that's what I'm holding my hands for folks to see. When we're talking about the GOAT, and you're talking about the dominance, and you're talking about the number of championships. Personally, there's nobody on this planet that can compare ring-wise. We're talking about championship rings at the highest level to Bill Russell. And, we talk about...
Mac has a great legacy, man. Great legacy.
Oh, well, we take half the show up just calling out the names and the contributions they made to the NBA. We got people who have gone on to football greatness.
Track and field.
Yeah, and baseball. Whoo! Come on now.
Absolutely.
There's a thing called free agency that one of the guys that came out of McClymonds High School was responsible for getting that free agency. How about that? Mm-hmm.
Hey, Kurt Flood.
Thank you.
Sir.
Thank you. I mean, see, people, when I would say things of that nature, folks would think, oh, he's just jabbing. You don't know what you're talking about. But when you do television and you're speaking to the world, to anybody who has the correct answers, I can't lie.
Well,
I can't lie.
I remember, I've only been to Detroit, but if they can imagine going to a local playground with a ball field, and for us growing up in West Oakland, isolated, predominantly black,
yes,
back in the day, and you have Frank Robinson, Vada Pinson, Kurt Flood, Jesse Gonda. on and on and on. These great ball players out there, Bill Russell playing basketball at the same time on the court.
And he was a
I mean,
backup.
it's Wendell Hayes. I mean, so
Uh,
we've had a strong legacy.
well, let's do this. We're talking about what about using your legs? A guy named Jim Hines, who did set the world's record.
That's right.
Okay,
But don't forget we had Ed Moody as well. Ed Moody ran for the
the hurdles.
for the Olympics too.
Thank you, Tim. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
So we've had a few.
and so we talk about contributions and your eye in terms of what you will observe. So we talk about the pedigree that we come from.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
what are some of the accomplishments, some of the contributions that various communities have made, various organizations have made in their community that you are aware of?
In Oakland,
Period. Let's just talk about the things that you do and the places that you participate in.
well, I mean, for any community, if we're talking about athletics, it has to come from that grassroots approach from the community. Youth sports. I think we could probably look and find that in just about every community. The perspective I think for some is that it provides an opportunity to experience a particular sport for enjoyment.
Okay.
I know that for you and I and a few others, that athletics was a way to better ourselves.
Yes.
To, get a scholarship somewhere. I mean, growing up in Oakland, I mean, our opportunities moving after high school were either Todd Shipyards, worked in the cannery in East Oakland. Athletics for me was my ticket to open up some opportunities. Of course, we were mentored by guys like Art Powell, Tim Daniels, some of the guys raised.
Yes.
And that Dave Littleton, who helped kind of guide us where our next move would be. I never forget working out my senior year in the spring after football and talking to Dave's guys, and they were kind of guiding us where our next opportunities just might be.
That's right.
So, and that is pretty applicable to just about every neighborhood, predominantly those that are blue collar neighborhoods.
Yes.
I think we didn't have the kind of money flowing in like they did up in Piedmont, but we did have a lot of influence from the elders in the neighborhood who would show and kind of guide us the way.
Right, right. Let's take a moment and just quickly hit on Leondis Lacy.
Oh, Lee? Yeah.
Now he has some things going on that you are aware of. Can you kind of touch on some things that Mr. Leondis Lacy, the all-time great baseball player from that school called McClymonds High School, Oakland, California?
Well, Leondis is still active with the Dodgers organization, and he bounced around the league for a little bit, but he's got a couple of World Series rings. Right now he and I talked not long ago. He owns the aeronautics company, and how somebody from our neighborhood got into aeronautics, and airplane parts and all that kind of stuff. I'll never know.
Yes.
But that's the whole thing. Sports will open up opportunities for you, and you just got to be able to capitalize on them. So, but Lee's still active. He's still doing something. Nate Williams, I talked to Nate Williams from the NBA. Nate asked about the other day.
You talking about Nate Williams?
Nate Williams,
Yeah. When Nate first came to McClymonds as a 10th grader, Of course, he looked like a senior. You know, just a tremendous all around great athlete, just going from sport to sport to sport. Um, and he was just a rare young man that was,
They call him a man child.
yes, 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 and just a beautiful personality. Um, so it was very wonderful to see that he went all the way to. Didn't he play with the Golden State Warriors?
So, but the Warriors started off with,
Otis Allison.
oh, well, Joe, yeah. Joe played with the Warriors.
Yeah.
And so did, Nate was there, but Nate was with the Jazz. And I think he was with the Cincinnati Royals at one time initially, because he talked about playing with Oscar Robertson. I think
Right.
Oscar played with Cincinnati. I can't remember.
Yes.
And, so he's still around. His daughter, Nate's daughter, just up until this past year was the general manager for the Las Vegas Aces of the WNBA.
Now she
And
was.
Natalie Williams. Natalie was a fourth in basketball and even in volleyball, All-American from UCLA volleyball and basketball.
And so,
yeah.
after her career, you say she's holding what positions? What is she doing now?
She was the general manager up until this past year. She was general manager for the Las Vegas Aces.
Wow. Wow.
We should probably bring Nate on one of these days, just to kind of touch base.
Well, this is what I was saying is that hopefully this becomes somewhat of our beginning, that we can use you as a vessel to the world that is a world that would be interesting for the people around the world to listen, to hear, and to be able to possibly interact.
Yeah.
Because what we have have here is the ability to have you on the line, our other guests on the line, as well as be able to take calls from the community or from around the world if they happen to want to ask questions of yourself or the guest. We're setting today is like a template.
Billy Jones story too. Everybody might have a Billy Jones story.
Well, like I said, today is a template for what is coming, like the changes we're doing with the program, with the station, with the style, to include this presentation and let it grow. We want to grow.
Now, real quick, not to cut you off, but some of your listeners might, be followers of gospel.
Mm-hmm.
And one of our other old classmates, teammate, Tommy Richardson.
Tony Richardson.
Tommy's wife is the legendary Tremaine Hawkins, who's a famous gospel singer.
No, wait a minute. You talking about Tommy?
Yeah, Tommy Richardson. Yeah.
I know you. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying I know who Tommy is, of course. Smooth, big eyes.
Yeah, he and Honey, they call her Honey. Honey's, Tremaine, she was just, she performed with Donnie McClurkin at the Solo.
So Tommy is married to Tremaine Hawkins?
Yeah.
Wow.
Going on 30 years.
Wow. Oh,
Yeah,
happy
and,
day.
and I'm going to tell you something if you didn't know. Her mom owned a place where you and I, many years, probably used to frequent, called Lois the Pie Queen.
Yeah.
Well, Lois the Pie Queen, that's her family's establishment.
Wait, the Lois the Pie Queen.
Yeah.
I just can't believe this. So, to see Tommy married to Tremaine Hawkins.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a wonderful, great guy. I mean, get me not wrong, and I'm just so happy and so that we touch royalty.
Yeah.
These are our schoolmates, huh?
Of course. And I just spoke to one of your old teammates from Langley, Dennis Pete.
Oh, listen, Dennis Pete, his mom, his dad, Jeffrey of Jeffries, his older brother. They at one point had to take me in because I did wrong And I was out there, didn't have no place to be, and Dennis saw me down by the Lake Merritt, by that Kentucky Fried Chicken place, in my car, and they took me up to home to stay at his home with his parents and his brothers and sisters for a couple 3 days.
Wow.
And after that, after we played our freshman year at Laney, Dennis Pete, Ronnie Van, and myself,
Ronnie Van.
yeah, the three of us, we got an apartment. So we lived together during that off season.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Dennis ended up at San Francisco State.
Mm-hmm.
We just inducted him into the Hall of Fame about 4 years ago.
Okay.
And still in Atlanta, still doing well, retired.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
You know? So I could talk to get Dennis on.
Well, you know, Dennis would always be a wonderful person to interview because he's always been a deep thinker.
Yeah.
Always been a person that once he was committed to a situation, Dennis was committed.
Right.
I remember when the Panthers was recruiting, was getting their movement up, and Dennis was very much curious,
Right.
and went out to find out more and more about the Panthers. And I remember he went to a meeting that the police department broke up, and I was home. I was living with my parents, 'cause we, you know, and when, you know, we freshmen in college, and Dennis came to my home. His head was busted.
Oh, yeah.
His teeth had been knocked out. Yes, at the rally, the police.
Mm-hmm.
So,
But
that,
you know, DP, there's probably a little bit more to that story, and there's some other aspects that I think that he would open up to you. I'm not gonna put it out there in the air, but there's more to it than that. You know? So.
well, yeah, because like I said, Dennis used to have to help us with our studies.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Ronnie. But you know, after that, you know, like I said, we
Yeah,
maintained.
you know, the family's out of West Oakland, but they moved out. I mean, although if they'd have stayed in West Oakland, Dennis would have been a Mac Hack. You know.
Well, anyway, we're gonna get ready to take that commercial break, and we're gonna come back. And at that point, anything and everything that you want to discuss, that will become your time. But Mark, before I go to commercial break, would you let the people know again who am I talking with, please?
My name is Mark Hollis. I'm president and CEO of EMA Sports USA Inc. here in California. Although we are a database corporation, I'm a former classmate and teammate of Mr. Jones. Graduate in 1967 from Clemens High School. Hall of Famer at San Francisco State University.
All right. We'll see you back very soon after the commercial break, Mark, okay?
Okay.
And family, don't you forget to Talk B. Jones. We're on the air every Wednesday. That time is from 10 to 11. You can also view us on a Sunday from 4 to 5 on 15.2. Of course, you can watch us on the R.J. Watkins page live, as we're being live right now, produced by Mr. Timmy Tim. And, of course, you can also go to the Roku, pick it up on the broadcasting systems Roku, and of course you can go to YouTube TV33 on demand. Be back after these commercials.
You wouldn't have to go anywhere because this is the Talk Beat Jones.
Clean up on aisle 5. Sounds like my life right now. Just one big mess.
What's going on?
It's my property taxes.
What?
I am behind and I am so worried that I'm going to lose my house. I can pay some of it, but I can't pay it all at once.
Sorry to interrupt. I'm Eric Sabri, the Wayne County Treasurer. The last thing I want is for anyone to lose their property to tax foreclosure. We have assistance programs to help.
For more information, go to treasurer.waynecounty.com.
We're here to help.
You're watching Detroit's own WHPR TV. Detroit Live.
Hi, this is Billy E. Jones, Talk Beat Jones. You can watch me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on WHPR TV 33 Now app. Download our free app at WHPR TV Now.
Justice for Mario Willis. Truth. Facts. Evidence. Matter. Log into justiceformariowillis.com. Read for yourself.
Arrested, you have the right to remain silent. Everything you say can and will be held against you. Don't talk to the police. Talk to me first, Attorney Warren E. McAlpine from the Action Attorney Center. I know the law and I know your rights. Whether felony, misdemeanor, drug, OWI, domestic violence, or traffic violation, I can help you. Call today, Warren E. McAlpine, 1-888-292-6908.
You wouldn't have to go anywhere because this is the Talk Beat Jones.
All right, this again is the Talk Beat Jones. I am Billy E. Jones, and I want to thank you for tuning in today for the Talk Beat Jones. Remember, you can watch Talk Beat Jones every Wednesday live from 10 to 11. Also, you can watch it on a Sunday on 15.2. That is Sunday 15.2. Go to that Roku box. That is the Roku box, where you can pick up the station on the other station. That Roku is just tremendous. But don't forget also, you got the YouTube TV33 on demand. You can pick us up on the YouTube TV33 on demand. And I have a special host on the air with me at this point, Mr. Mark Hollis. But I also have my guest host today again. Let us bring you in right about now, young lady.
Yes, I am here, Jazzy No Nonsense, the poet.
The poet.
Hey, everybody out there in TV world, radio land, internet land, social media land. Hope everybody's doing great today on this wonderful day in Detroit, Michigan.
And to all those special guests that's out from outer space, I understand we got some visitors from outer space.
Right. Y'all too.
Yeah. Everybody's tuning in trying to hear that Talk Beat Jones.
Yes.
Hey, Mark.
Yo.
Bring yourself back in. Oh, by the way, Jazzy and Mark, why don't you introduce yourself to Mark, Jazzy?
Hello, Mark. How are you today?
I'm blessed. How are you?
I'm well. Great to hear from you. Where you calling from?
California.
All right. California is in the building. Love California.
Nothing like a cup of coffee in California.
Right. What part of California?
I'm in Southern California, a little area called Temecula.
Oh, okay. All right. When I'm down there in California, I'm trying to look you up.
Yeah, okay. All right. We're about 45 minutes north of San Diego.
Oh, okay. All right. I've been to L.A. and L.A.
That'll work.
Huh?
That'll work.
Yeah. You know, Cali, when I go down to Cali, because y'all don't get that rain like that, the parts that I be in, So I'm like, the ground is like disgusting for me down there. I be like, oh my God.
Well,
My
now that
feet
y'all,
be so dirty.
well, now that
They do, because I be walking in flip-flops.
okay. Now listen to this, Mark.
Yes.
You have a perspective about the tennis player Coco. Kind of give us a backdrop as to how you came about developing this thing with Coco, and give a little something about who Coco is and what you've seen her do in her development, please.
Well, let me back up, because I gotta provide a little credibility for what I'm saying. That I started playing tennis before I started playing football.
Wow.
And when I got to Mac, I obviously still in football, but tennis was still a big part of who I was.
Oh, Mark. Hey, Mark. You were one of those. I see. You were one of those folks that McClimers put up the tennis courts for, because we didn't always have tennis courts on our campus.
Arthur Nicholson was the guy initially.
Nick Nicholson. Arthur Nicholson.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But see, just to back, you remember DeFermi Park. How I got into tennis is that we used to play a game called Strikeout in the playground. And I kept hitting the ball into the tennis court.
Mm-hmm.
And so the guys in the tennis courts got so upset, they brought us in to show us how to play tennis, and it was fast. But obviously, back in those days, tennis wasn't, what it is today. So I would get into the tennis courts to play the 8 guys and show up around 8, 9 o'clock. Then we start basketball, football, whatever it is,
Right.
And so I fell in love with the game of tennis back then. And then when I got to Mac, I played football, I played tennis as well. Earl Manyweather, like I said, approached me to give up playing football.
The late but great Earl Manyweather, yes.
He approached me to give up playing football and play tennis, because tennis was going to be the biggest thing in tennis. And he and my dad approached me. I committed to it. Unfortunately, the OL went into receivership, and I gave up my aspirations in tennis and focused on football again.
Right.
But it's interesting, because the visionary Earl Manyweather also approached Otis Allen Doe to give up playing basketball and to get him involved in rowing at Lake Mary.
And to know that this man that you're talking about, that Earl Manyweather, who was great, helping us youngsters, was talking to a young man that actually developed to become a NBA basketball player.
That's it.
Go right ahead, please.
Yeah. So I got into football. I played ball at San Francisco State, and then got back into tennis over the years, and started a youth movement. And then when I started teaching at the high school level, I took over. I became the tennis coach.
Okay.
And they tried to get me to coach football, but tennis paid more than football back in those days. So it just snowballed. I started a tennis program here in our community, and it just, from there I coached and interacted with a lot of professionals. My partner at the time was a former Davis Cup player from Peru. And, so just some kind of perspective. I knew Brad Gilbert Bradley when we were in Oakland. That was a 12-year-old kid, and, and we still stay in touch at this day. So I started, and Bradley was Coco's coach at one time.
Very high level. Go ahead.
Yeah, and so I, watching the game, and I noticed that when Coco first came on the scene, she was dominant. She beat Venus in her first run at Wimbledon, Venus Williams, and so she just became this dominant force that was out.
Are you
And
saying
then
that
over
Coco
period
became a
of
dominant
time,
force?
She's won a couple of Grand Slams, but over a period of time, you start to see her lose the players that she should easily dominate, And so, like so many other players, success comes with a price to a degree, and we might look at it as beneficial, but when in Coco's case, she started getting all these endorsements, doing a lot of commercials, whatever. Sometimes when you get wrapped up in all that, you lose the burn.
Okay.
And so what happens then is that in her particular case, they start changing a lot of coaching approaches. And the issue that I had is that, she doesn't need methodology. She doesn't need to learn technique. She doesn't need to learn how to serve. She doesn't need to learn, how to approach the net, win some points, So you started to notice that she's starting to spray the balls ever so. It's not necessarily technique, but it's the pressure points during the match that she started questioning.
She started doing. Wait,
ability.
Mark. You say she starts to doing what now?
She started to question some of her approaches into winning some of the points. Easy approaches to the net where she should be able to point out, she's hitting it long or she's netting the ball.
So are you saying that she's over? Are you saying she's overthinking?
Overthinking, I think. And so so she keeps changing coaches, head coaches, technically, like Brad Gilbert. Now she's with this guy Dab.
Okay.
And,
hold on, Mark. So
Yeah.
we want to kind of stay with you here.
Yeah.
So you're saying that because there is something going on in her head, that she is utilizing these various different coaches, searching for whatever it is that's running through her head, and she continues to fire them, reaching out for another coach after another
Right.
coach.
It's not the methodology, Billy. It's not the methodology of the stroke formation, whether it's a serve or forehand, backhand, volley, whatever. She has all those abilities.
Right.
She just doesn't have the confidence to execute at certain times during a match.
So now
And
she's
that's why some people say if she's playing a tournament, she might need some help. That means that if she's playing against if Sabalenka or Iga Swiatek is in her half of the draw, there's an anticipation that maybe they'll get knocked off. It might make her run to the championship a little bit easier. So I came up with this idea that
So wait. Let's stay with where you are. Let's stay where you are for a moment. So right at this point, from your observation, you are seeing that Coco is questioning her
I think she's distracted.
approach at different points of the match, where it's supposed to be just a natural flow. When she was there, when she was eager, she was young, and all she wanted to do was get out there and just play and just react. Force the action.
She's
And
distracted. She's filming a lot of commercials. She's getting a lot of notoriety. She's attending. And you kind of roll it back to days of Roger Federer or Rafa Nadal. I mean, they had a lot of opportunities for influence, but they shut all that down. Their coaches put the blinders on, and so the focus was to just kind of maintain the wheels on the track and keep moving forward. All the other things will come on the back end of the ship. You know what I mean?
right.
But I understand when somebody's waving $50 million in front of you, that when you should be on the court practicing, you're filming a commercial spot or whatever. I'm not knocking that, but I think that she has somewhat lost the burn. And how do you regain the burn back? I think, that's the key. I came up, but I said she needs somebody like a Ray Lewis in her box. You know, somebody that reminds her that she's the big wheel. You know, so but you can't coach confidence to a degree. It can be developed over a period of time.
Is that part of
players, like I made an analogy, you got some players in basketball that with two seconds left in the game, they're going to call for the ball.
Right.
Some of the other players, some guys don't want that opportunity. You know what I mean?
Well, that is a process of living life. There's those who reach out and go for the brass ring or whatever it is, and there are those who say, "No, that's too much. That's too much pressure." So, are we looking at the fact that
when you guys played Southern University, the same thing.
Right. By the way,
some there was a little bit of an intimidated.
Hey, Mark, when you mentioned that All-Star game, that playing that Black Classic against Southern University, you do know.
I know.
You do know that I saved the game by getting the interception over Harold Carmichael. Ended the game. How about that?
But you weren't intimidated.
Huh?
You had no fear.
Oh no, man! I wanted it.
Yeah, exactly.
I wanted. In fact, the coach sent me out there to play him 1-on-1. Right?
Oh, man. You messed up.
That was my responsibility towards the end of the game, is to play Harold Carmichael 1-on-1. It didn't matter that he was 6'6", 6'7", and was just shredding up everybody. I come from Laney College, who had the greatest, baddest defensive backfield, period. I come from Laney College, in which our graduating, that sophomore class, had over 9 folk who went into the NFL. So, so the training that we received.
But you also came out of Final Five. You also came out of Final Five.
Yeah. So I mean,
but where does that come from? You mentioned that you had no fear. You want. Where does that come from? And that's my whole thing. Like in Coco's particular case, somebody needs to remind her who she is.
Well, you play to win, because if you win, you got the commercials, you got the endorsements, etc. But in the perspective of how they're doing it now, they win a little bit, and they get all these commercial endorsements and stuff. So they're making so much money off the court as opposed to on the court. And so if you're not looking and staying focused on how many championships, who do you measure yourself against when you're looking at playing the sport? Is it that you're just playing to be known for that person and your endorsements? Or are you playing to be that known as that person who was a person who was tenacious, loved what they was doing, and the result of them loving what they doing, they played, sacrificed the other stuff outside of their game, concentrated on their game, and became the greatest player, especially when you're doing an individual type of sports like tennis.
Can I say something?
Please. Oh yes. Oh, go ahead. You can jump in anytime.
And
the other part of that too is that
just go ahead and talk.
Most of the coaches in the game of tennis, their focus is on methodology.
Mark, I was saying about competition. Well, not far as competition, but far as the world, how people look at winners and losers today, and far as people getting accolades that they don't really even deserve today. Like y'all just said that, Billy just said that a person be playing the game for theirself to get endorsements, but not playing for the team. Because today people get accolades for not doing hard work. Everybody gets the champion who ain't, people who've been on the bench. So that's the kind of how, things have got messed up in the competition world, because everybody gets an award, even if you're not good. Everybody gets an award. Come on, you didn't do good, but here's your award. So now everybody's looking out for self. Like, look, if I could just look out for me and give me some endorsements, I really don't care what the team is doing. I'm getting my money. But down the line, it hurts because you're not training like you should. So now your real talent is falling off, and now down the line you might start losing money.
And and Mark, question here.
I think what
Question mark here. Stay with where you are. I just want to throw this in. That hunger to play and to win championships, because we weren't paid.
right.
We did not get paid. We heard and we thought about with people, schools that may have been paying people some little money. But now bring it up to date, right here out of Michigan, we have a freshman ball player. Check this out. A freshman ball player that to get him to come play at this particular school, they give this young man who had never played ball at the school before yet $12.5 million.
Well, that's
Wow.
the Neil.
Huh?
They call that the Neil.
So how
name,
is it?
Name, image, and likeness.
So you're making more money going to school as opposed to you making more money playing at your school than you're going to make trying to get into the pros.
But see, I don't have a problem with that, Billy.
You say high school?
Because,
That's crazy.
you
Not
know,
at high school they can make the type of money.
programs like
12.5 million.
at Michigan or UCLA, USC, there is so much money flowing into those universities from the Neil, what do you call it? From television pool money, from the Nikes of the world. There's so much money going in.
Yeah.
And all that based upon the shoulders of the guys and the girls playing on the field of the court. I don't have a problem with the kids getting paid. Can you cap it off, make it a little bit better? Yeah, sure. But I don't have a problem with kids getting paid.
Of going to the NFL. What's the point of going? If you're getting $12.5 million going into high school?
No, they're coming out of high school.
Well, coming hot out of high school, how much drive does that a person has to keep if they already got $12 million in their pocket? I mean, that's like insane to me.
Well, there's some of the guys are saying they got paid more in college than they did in professional. So,
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
But you can be a professional. I guess you could call it they're professional collegiate players because they're getting paid.
Well, that's the way. That's the whole process now. Is that they are getting paid. So now, if we can look at 2025, and this player at this school is documented to have a $12.5 million deal. Well, this is not even talking about those schools that are known to give a whole lot of money. So this is just pointing about this school and this athlete. So we're looking.
You go back to the days of Reggie Bush.
Yes.
Reggie and O.J. Mayo at USC, they were, and Pete Carroll and Mike Garrett were involved in that, but they were receiving a lot of money from the Alumni Association.
Well,
and when that came to light, they pulled Reggie Pipes and so for a violation. So, but if the Neil had existed then, they would have been okay. So,
well, when you listen to these podcasts, these athletes are doing after they retired or are no longer playing, and they're going through relating to when they were in school and the schools that was recruiting them. And one of the guys was relating the fact about how the coach came by and talked to them and happened to leave a briefcase with $10,000 in it, right?
Sure.
and nobody was supposed to talk about the briefcase.
We've all got to check it too somewhere along the line.
Yeah.
It's like in no arena.
Getting back to confidence, and I want to pick on Jazzy's brain, is that one of the most intimidating things I think is to get on stage and perform. I can be I can be around Thanksgiving Day and and we've got a family member that is the funniest person on the. You put him on stage, and he is gonna just like he has no confidence whatsoever.
Yes.
So where does that? It's the same thing. Where does confidence come from?
Yes. Yes.
Confidence comes from practice over and over again, because I can take that back to when I went to college and we had to start doing PowerPoint, presentations in front of the class. And I had really never spoken in front of people. So the more I did that, the more I got confident. We had to do it every week, had to get up in front of the class. So the more I did it, the more confident. And after the 4 years, I was a speaker. So yeah, I think it comes with repetition.
So Mark, give us your last interpretation about confidence, and we're going to let.
Knowing what it is in your particular case, your PowerPoint, you know what it is you're presenting.
Yeah, and knowing what you and knowing what you're doing, not getting up there, knowing what then did your research, then did your work, so you know your words and what to say, practice, rehearsal, that builds your confidence.
All right.
And I think from a coaching standpoint, you have to have clear and definitive goals. You have to have benchmarks to move forward towards attaining that particular goal.
Well, I'm going to end this up with the fact that, do y'all realize that I'm a very, very, very introvert, shy person?
Me too, really, though. Me too, really.
But you put me on or put me in front of a group of folk, and I become that person that's going to be there to motivate you. You're going to have the loudest voice, the most person that's going to help push you. You take me out of that and put me into something else, I'm just as shy. But that's okay, because we got to get ready to go, Mark. This was like the template today for what we're doing. And like I said, and told the family about the fact that we are also now going into being commissioned to start bringing to you the African art, statues, paintings, prints, and giving the opportunity to be able to buy those as we are being commissioned, so that we can help the station, help me do the show, help the person who has asked us to sell these, help them to move along in their lives. So a lot of good things happening. We'll start that next week, so that you can tell your friends, you want to get that African art, we've got it. We've had 3 different sales with it, and it just was fantastic. So that's the direction we're going to. Jazzy, before you go off, tell them how they can help you real quick before you go.
Yes, please send any donations to Jazzy No Nonsense Support, my Cash App at 248-508-2094. Also to my Chime account, 248-508-2094. Y'all know I'm an advocate for human trafficking, so I need funds for that. I need funds for the WHPR. So help me out. And plus, I'm going to be at River Rouge on September 19th doing a video shoot with one of my artists, Rock Wilson, the last video of the summer. Everybody come out to River Rouge Park September the 19th.
All right. Awesome, all right. Family, want to thank you very much for being with the Talk Beat Jones again today. I am Billy Jones. Remember, Talk Beat Jones, we're on air every Wednesday from 10 to 11. Also on a Sunday from 4 to 5 on 15.2. We love you and all the other good things. We got to run. Tell your friends about us. You love us. You like us. I love you. Bye now.
You wouldn't have to go anywhere, because this is the Talk Beat Jones. And
Thank you.